Hello everyone. Good day. For today, we're going to discuss the missed lessons and discussion for immunology and serology laboratory. So for finals, going to discuss the hepatitis serological markers, and then we'll proceed to SLE. So when we go back to school, to CEU, we're going to perform the SLE and the HEPA serologic markers. Okay. So for now, we're going to discuss first the hepatitis serologic markers. Okay. So please take note that after the discussion, please study well since next meeting, we're going to have quiz on hepatitis and SLE. Okay. Hepatitis and serologic markers are topic. So dito papasok yung HB-SAG, kung familiar kayo, and then your anti-HBS, okay? So later i-discuss natin ni isa-isa. So what are the objectives for today's discussion? So ngayon, at the end of the lesson, lahat kayo dapat must be able to explain ano yung hepatitis, identify its causes, understand the significance of HB-SAG and anti-HBS in diagnosing Hep B infection, interpret basic Hep B serologic profiles, and also understand different hepatitis. Okay, so first, let's start with the introduction to hepatitis. Ano ba yung hepatitis? So for the introduction, this refers to the inflammation, no? Inflammation. So, suffix na itis, ibig sabihin, inflammation. Okay? Refers to the inflammation of what? Of your liver. Okay? Of the liver. And this is commonly caused by viral infection. But also by toxins, drugs, or autoimmune conditions. Okay? So, ayan yung buong meaning ng hepatitis. Okay? So, there are common viral hepatitis types. No? We have Hepa A, B, C, D, and E. Okay? We have hepatitis A, Hepa B, Hepa C, Hepa D, and Hepa E. So, yun yung HAV, HBV, okay. Sa hospital, usually yung pina-perform natin dito commonly yung HBV, Hepa B, tsaka HCV. Okay? So sa sa Hepa V, yung HB-SAG, anti-HBS. So for today, we're going to focus on Hepa B virus, no? Because this is important serologic markers used for diagnosis ng Hepa B. So dito tayo sa Hepa B. Okay, magpo-focus pero dadaanan din natin yung iba. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to discuss hepatitis B virus or your HBV. Okay? For your hepatitis B virus, this is transmitted by a bloodborne. Wala palang N, sorry. Ayan, bloodborne yung transmission. So, paano nangyayari yan sa bloodborne? Through contaminated blood, pwede ring sexual contact, pwede ring needle sharing, pwede ring perinatal. Ano yung perinatal na tinatawag? This is the transmission from mother to child. Okay, please remember. So, the clinical course, meron tayong tinatawag na acute infection. So, for acute infection, this is your short term. And the chronic infection. For the chronic infection, of course, this is your long term. So, possible outcomes ng HEPA B, recovery, chronic carrier state, cirrhosis, and liver cancer. Okay, so now since we're in the laboratory, let's focus more on the serological markers. Okay, so in immunology and serology, we use specific markers to determine the stage of infection or immunity. Again, sa immunology and serology, we use specific markers to determine the stage of infection or immunity. So, in relation to that, we test for HB-Sag. Ano ba yung, sir, yung HB-Sag na tinatawag? So, AG is your antigen. So, ano bang ibig sabihin ng HB-Sag? HB-Sag refers to your hepatitis B surface antigen. Okay, hepatitis B surface antigen. So, ano ba yon? Yung hepatitis B surface antigen. So, this is a protein, no? Protein on the surface of your hepatitis B virus. Protein on the surface of hepatitis B virus. Meaning, if positive, it indicates current infection, either acute or chronic. Again, it indicates if positive, it indicates current infection, no? Pwedeng acute, it's either acute or chronic kapag positive. So HB, pakitandaan din na ang HB-Sag, this is the earliest marker to appear in the blood after the infection. Again, si HB-Sag, yung earliest marker to appear in the blood after the infection. Okay? Pakitandaan. Now, sa clinical relevance naman, ano yung relevance nito? So, we use HB-Sag for screening of blood donors. Ano pa? Siyempre, for diagnosing HBV infection. Next, ano yung pangalawa? We have your anti-HBs or your antibody to HEPA B surface antigen. Okay, pakitandaan antibody to HEPA B surface antigen. So ano yon? In short, this is an antibody produced by the immune system in response to your HB-Sag. Okay? Meaning, if positive, it indicates what? If positive sa anti-HBs, ibig sabihin, it indicates what? Recovery from hepatitis V virus infection. Or, pwede ring successful immunization with hepatitis B vaccine. Again, if ang anti-HBs mo ay positive, pwedeng Ibig sabihin, recovery from hepatitis B infection or pwede ring successful ang immunization with the hepatitis B vaccine. Okay? So, ano ang purpose nito? It provides protective immunity. So, ang clinical relevance naman ng anti-HBs, this is used, no? Used to confirm immunity. Immunity, sorry, hindi nakikita. Immunity after ng infection or vaccination. Clear? Okay. So, para mas maintindihan natin ang hepatitis, para mas ma-appreciate natin to, meron tayo dito, gawa tayo ng table. Okay? So first, HBsag. Huwag na pala tayo gawa ng table. Mas madali pagka ganito. HBsag positive. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin, merong current infection. Current infection, HBsag positive. Summary lang to guys ah. So, pwedeng sabi natin kanina, pwedeng acute, pwedeng chronic. Ano ang interpretation naman natin? Interpretation natin, virus is present in the body. Okay? Next, anti-HBs. If ang anti-HBs mo positive din, anong ibig sabihin? Ang status niya, immune, pwedeng post-infection or vaccine. Ang interpretation natin dito is protected and not infected. Okay, para mas madali yung tandaan. Next, HB-Sag, negative. Kapag HB-Sag negative, anti-HBs, negative din. Ibig sabihin ng status niya ay susceptible. Okay, please remember, and our interpretation would be no infection, but no immunity. Okay? No infection, no immunity ang interpretation. So, in summary, HB-Sag, this is a sign of your active infection. Your anti-HBs, sign of recovery or vaccine-induced immunity. So for testing for these markers is crucial for diagnosis. Pwede ring blood safety kasi nga for transfusion and monitoring vaccination response. Okay? Now, let's talk about other hepatitis quickly. Okay, para lang may idea kayo or for your recall purposes. Okay? Your hepatitis A, ano ang kanyang transmission? Transmission ni Hepa A, pakitandaan, fecal, oral. Okay, para mas madali mong matandaan, ang fecal oral ay hepatitis A, hepatitis E virus. Okay? Again, for hepatitis A, fecal oral ang kanyang mode of transmission kasama ni hepatitis E. Okay? Ngayon, for other transmission, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, ano pa? HBV, HCV, HDV, ayan na, A, B, C, D, E. Kasama to. So, Hepa B, Hepa C, Hepa D, they are bloodborne. Okay, bloodborne. Okay, bloodborne ang kanilang transmission. Para mas madali mong matandaan, si Hepa A lang, tsaka si Hepa E, silang dalawa ang fecal-oral ang transmission. But, please take note that in HDV or hepatitis D virus, it requires hepatitis B virus. Okay? It requires hepatitis B virus. Ngayon, ang vaccine ba ay available sa lahat? Hindi. Okay? Vaccine for hepatitis A virus. Yes, available. Vaccine for hepatitis B virus. Yes, of course, available. Vaccine for hepatitis C. Available? No. Vaccine for hepatitis D virus? No din. Vaccine for hepatitis E, pakisulat limited. Okay? Limited lang. Okay? Next. Yun yung dapat yung tandaan ha. Okay, now. Again, review for HBsag, positive, anti-HBs, negative. Paano natin i-interpret yon? HBsag, sabi positive. Anti-HBs, negative. How do we interpret it? We interpret it as current, syempre, current infection. Paano naman HBsag, negative, anti-HBs, positive? How do we interpret it? We interpret it as immune, past infection, pwede, or vaccine. Kasi nga, di ba, successful recovery. Next, negative, negative, negative HB-SAG, negative HBS. Susceptible, no infection, no immunity. Paano naman pag positive si HB-SAG, positive din si HBS? Ang interpretation ng positive HB-SAG at positive HBS, rare. Okay, pakisulat rare. Possibly in window period, okay? Possibly in window period or pwedeng reactivation. Okay? So take note that HBsag appears first, okay? Katulad na sinabi natin kanina, this is an active infection marker sa HBsag. And anti-HBs appear after recovery or vaccination. This is also known as your immunity marker. So if HB-SAG persists beyond 6 months, infection is considered what? 6 months. Si HB-SAG, ibig sabihin chronic, doon natin ika-categorize as chronic infection. Okay? Okay, so that's for our hepatitis. We move on to your SLE. So what is your SLE? Any idea? So yes, SLE is systemic lupus erythematosus. Okay? Wait lang guys, 1 minute break. Okay, so I'm back. So again, SLE is your systemic lupus erythematosus. Okay, I'm sure very, 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 very familiar kayo dyan. Okay, systemic lupus erythematosus. Okay, later explain natin yan isa-isa. Okay, so first, what is SLE? So this is a chronic. Pakitandaan, this is a chronic. Ano pa? Systemic. Yun yung mga dapat yung tandaan. Systemic. Autoimmune. Systemic autoimmune disorder. This is characterized by the production of auto anti autoantibodies. Okay? Autoantibodies that targets the nuclear. Ano ang tinatarget? Nuclear and cytoplasmic. Nuclear and cytoplasmic antigens. Okay? It targets your nuclear and cytoplasmic antigens leading to what? Siyempre, leading to inflammation. Okay, leading to inflammation ng ano? Inflammation, hindi lang inflammation, meron ding damage included. Inflammation, damage ng ano? Multiple organs. Inflammation and damage ng multiple organ systems. Okay, organ systems. So it predominantly affects women's, no? Women's yung kadalasang may SLE ng anong age? Reproductive age. So ito yung favorite topic ko sa immunology and serology, no? Systemic lupus erythematosus. So again, women's predominantly, it affects women's and ng reproductive age. Tapos meron siyang variable clinical presentation. So now let's discuss the pathophysiology and immunological mechanism ng SLE. Okay? So it involves fundamental loss, no? Fundamental loss of self-tolerance in the immune system. So this results in the activation of your autoreactive B and T lymphocytes. So I'm guessing na alam nyo na ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng autoreactive, autoimmune, what does it correlate, no? Pagdating sa mga sakit, disorder, and condition. So, pag autoimmune, ibig sabihin, inaatake ng sarili nating immune system yung katawan natin. Okay? So, for me to explain it further, this is the activation daw ng autoreactive B and T lymphocytes. So ano ang nangyayari? Bakit nagkakaroon ng SLE yung patient? So nagkakaroon siya ng SLE because there is an overproduction. Overproduction of auto antibodies. Especially those directed against the nuclear components, no? Sabi natin kanina, it targets the nuclear, no, and cytoplasmic. Dito naman, uh, sa overproduction ng autoantibodies niya, especially yung mga directed against dun sa nuclear components. Ano nga ba hindi yung mga nuclear components natin? Yun yung mga DNA, yung histones, ah tsaka ribonucleoproteins. Ribonucleoproteins, DNA, and histones. So, nagkakaroon ng formation of immune complexes, no? Nagkakaroon ng formation of immune complexes. Okay, so kakaroon ng formation ng immune complexes, nagde-deposit sa mga various tissues, saan? Sa skin, sa kidney, sa joints, etc. Okay, sa pakitandaan, usually sa kidneys, usually sa joints, nagkakaroon ng arthralgia, sa kidneys, nagkakaroon ng inflammation, sa skin, nagkakaroon ng manifestation, no? Sabihin natin mamaya ano yung mga minamanifest ng mga patients with SLE. Okay, so another pathophysiology of SLE is the formation of immune complex ka na nabanggit natin kanina, no? So since meron siyang formation ng immune complex, nagkakaroon ng complement activation. Yung complement activation naman and recruitment ng inflammatory cells nagpo-progress saan? Sa tissue damage. Nagpa-progress yung complement activation sa tissue damage and organ dysfunction. Okay? Pumapalya na, no? Nagkakaroon na ng tissue damage and dysfunction ng organs. So, let's talk about the genetic. This is important. No? Genetic part. Genetic and environmental factors affecting SLE. So, pakitandaan, laging natatanong and hindi nawawala sa board exam ang HLA-DR2. HLA-DR2 and HLA DR3. This these two is associated with your SLE. So, ngayon pa lang, nguyain mo ng aralin ang human leukocyte antigen DR2 tsaka DR3 kasi gagamitin mo rin to for your board exam purposes. So, associated si DR2 and DR3 for your systemic lupus erythematosus. So, deficiency, no? Deficient sila naman sa complement. Since meron tayong complement activation na nagli-lead sa tissue damage. Ang tanong, anong complement component yon? Pakitandaan, deficiency sa C1, Q, saan pa? Sa C4, and sa C2. Okay? Now, meron ding environmental triggers, no? Environmental triggers kasi nga genetic and environmental factors. Ano-ano yung uh, nagtitrigger? So, UV light, infections, and certain drugs. Okay? Lastly is the hormonal influence. For example, sa mga babae, yung estrogen. Okay? Paano ba ito pababain? Anyway. Okay. Oo, paano pa ba? Yan. Okay. Now, let's talk about the clinical features naman ng SLE. So, clinical features na tayo. For the clinical features of SLE, this is a multisystem disease. Pakitandaan agad na ang SLE ay multisystem disease. Okay? So, yung manifestations niya, it includes fatigue, fever, weight loss. Okay? Fatigue, fever, weight loss. Okay? Sa skin naman, ano-ano yung included sa skin na sinabi natin kanina? Merong unique characteristic si SLE na tinatawag na butterfly rash. Huwag mo nang kakalimutan to, babaunin mo to hanggang board exam. Butterfly rash, this is associated only for SLE. Okay? And sa skin, pakilagay din na photosensitive. Sensitive sila. Photosensitive. Now, ano pa? Yung sinabi natin kanina, di ba meron tayong skin, meron tayong kidney. Okay, sa kidney, for your renal, ano naman yan? Ano naman yung pwedeng mangyari? So, pwedeng magkaroon ng lupus nephritis, infection, inflammation ng kidney. Okay, ano-anong inflammation nung mangyayari? Magkakaroon ng proteinuria. Okay, excessive or protein that can be found in the urine. Ano pa? Hematuria. Okay, sa blood, sa urine, and pwede magkaroon ng cast formation sa urine. Now, for your okay, for your hematologic, some patients with SLEE, tawag dito, it exhibits or shows symptoms na nagkaroon ng hemolytic, anemia, leukopenia, lymphopenia, mababang lymphocytes, and thrombocytopenia, platelets. Cardiopulmonary naman. For the cardiopulmonary, pleuritis, pericarditis, ano pa? Myocarditis. Okay? Inflammation yan lahat. Next, for gastrointestinal naman. For gastrointestinal, this is rare. Okay? This is rare involvement. Pakilagay na lang rare involvement. And rare involvement. Okay? Now, for the serological diagnosis ng SLE, tapos na tayo sa clinical features. For the serological, oh, mali spelling, diagnosis ng SLE. So this is yung SLE no diagnosis heavily relies ng serological markers, especially yung mga sinabi nating autoantibodies. So sa Stevens na textbook, meron tayong tinatawag na ANA. What is ANA? ANA is your anti-nuclear antibody. This is the most sensitive test for SLE. Okay? So, paano ka magpa-positive dyan? So, kapag greater than 95%, greater than 95% yung positive. Greater than 95% yung positive for SLE. Okay? Hindi ito yung result, but greater than 95% ng patients with SLE ay positive sa anti-nuclear antibodies. So, paano ba natin to ginagawa? Or like, ano bang uh, principle ng ANA test? So, please take note that this is detected. This is detected via indirect immuno immunofluorescence. No? Indirect immunofluorescence or your IIF on HEP2 cells. Okay, on HEP2 cells. Also, since greater than 95% ang positive, we cannot consider this as specific. Okay, this is not specific to SLE. Okay, can be positive in other autoimmune diseases. So, yung ANA is just like your test in uh, syphilis. Meron tayong treponemal and non-treponemal. So, yung mga VDR, LRPR is like ANA. Anong ibig sabihin? Pwede mag-positive yung ibang sakit, but it doesn't mean na kapag nag-positive lupus yung sakit. Okay? So, different staining patterns, no? Pwedeng homogeneous yung staining pattern. Pwede ring speckled, nucleolar, peripheral. Yan yung mga pattern. So, it suggests various underlying autoantibodies yung mga pattern na homogeneous, speckled, nucleolar, peripheral. Next, we also have your anti-DS DNA. Ayan. Tandaan mo din yung anti-dsDNA antibody for your SLE. Why? Because this is highly specific for SLE. Okay, highly specific an anti-dsDNA antibody for SLE because this is associated with the disease activity, no? Disease activity, especially for what? Especially for lupus nephritis. So this is detected using ELISA. Ano pa? Radio. immunoassay, or pwede ring yung tinatawag nating Cryptidia fusillae immunofluorescence. Okay? Yan. Ano pa? Meron pa. Kalma lang kayo. Meron pa tayong anti-Smith. Okay? Ano naman yung anti-Smith, no? Or tinatawag nating, nakikita nyo minsan as anti-SM. Yan, anti-SM antibodies. Okay? Yung anti-Smith na tinatawag, this is highly specific din. But, this is found in only 30% of SLE cases. Bakit siya highly specific kung found lang siya sa 30%? Because this is associated with severe diseases, no? And included din yung anti-Smith kasi sa classification criteria ng SLE. Okay? Meron pa tayong antihistone antibodies. Si antihistone antibodies naman, this is commonly present in the drug-induced lupus. Drug-induced lupus kasi 'di ba may certain drugs na nakaka-affect. So ito 'yon, antihistone. So this can be detected naman via your ELISA or immunoblot. ELISA or immunoblot. Next, meron pa. Meron tayong antiphospholipid. Ay, iba na yung number. Antiphospholipid antibodies. Okay, for phospholipid antibodies, this includes your lupus, anticoagulant, anticardiolipin, and your anti-beta 2 glycoprotein 1. Okay, this is also linked to thrombotic events. Pakitandaan, ah spontaneous abortion and thrombocytopenia yung link sa thrombotic events ng antiphospholipid antibodies. Next, meron pa tayong complement level, di ba? Ang dami kasi nga maraming autoantibodies. For complement levels naman, we check for C3 and C4. Bakit? Kasi decreased levels are common during active disease. Okay? Due to what? Due to consumption. And this is also useful for monitoring disease flares. Ngayon, let's talk about the other tests. Since marami na tayong test na binanggit kanina, meron pa din. Kaso, yung mga babanggitin ko, these are other test na hindi usually ginagamit. No? Pero for your information lang din, baka lumabas sa quiz, the other test includes anti-RNP, anti-SSA, anti-SSB. This is seen no, sa lupus and other connective tissue disease. No? For urinalysis, pwede natin gamitin for what? For proteinuria and para makita yung cast. No? Sa lupus nephritis. Pwede rin ang ESR kasi ang ESR is marker of, huwag niyong kakalimutan, ESR marker of inflammation. Pwede rin CRP, inflammation din. Pero si ESR ang tinatawag nating marker for inflammation. Pero they're both associated sa inflammation. But please take note that ESR and CRP and the rest markers, they are non-specific for SLE, and ESR and CRP, they are also non-specific inflammation markers, no? And please also take note that during the test, uh, these two, yung ESR and CRP, they are elevated pag ito-test mo yung patients with SLE. Kasi actually almost all diseases, especially diseases with involves in inflammation, magpa-positive talaga si ESR. No? Infection, inflammation, pa-positive yan. Okay? Now, for the diagnosis criteria, let's talk about the diagnosis criteria. So for the Systemic Lupus International Collaborating Clinics or tinatawag nating SLICC, this is the criteria na ginagamit. No? And American College of Rheumatology. So again, SLICC and ACR yung ginagamit for standardizing diagnosis. Ano yung SLICC? Systemic Lupus International Collaborating Clinics and ACR, American College of Rheumatology. So, for SLICC criteria, at least four criteria required. These four criteria required, including one clinical, one immunological, or biopsy-proven lupus nephritis with ANA or anti-dsDNA. So this emphasizes combination of clinical symptoms and laboratory test. Okay? Okay. For your laboratory techniques naman, laboratory techniques. Okay? So, ito yung kailangang i-focus for the laboratory techniques. We have your indirect oops, immunofluorescence or yung IIF nga kanina. Please take note that this is the gold standard for ANA testing using your Hep2 cells. Next, we also have your ELISA. What's the meaning of ELISA? Enzyme link immunosorbent assay. Si ELISA naman, this is widely used. Okay? Widely used for anti-BS DNA. Saan pa? Anti-Smith and anti-histone. Okay? Next, we also have flow cytometry and nephelometry. Si flow cytometry and nephelometry, this is used to assess immune complex levels and complement, oops, used to assess immune complex levels and complement proteins. Okay? Now, for the management, kunting daanan natin yung mga non-steroidal inflammatory drug. Ginagamit natin yun for management ng lupus for mild musculoskeletal symptoms. Again, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug ginagamit natin for mild musculoskeletal symptoms. Okay, yung corticosteroids naman ginagamit natin for moderate to severe disease, yung mga immunosuppressive agents, ginagamit din natin. Okay, so for the summary no, of and clinical relation ng SLE. So this is a serologically defined autoimmune disease. So proper interpretation ng lab results sa context ng clinical symptoms is very, very critical. Okay, so all in all, kailangan merong laboratory accuracy, interpretative correlation, no? And understanding the pathogenesis behind the test result. So, yun lang muna so far for the discussion ng SLE and your hepatitis. So, please study everything for your quiz. Thank you so much.